Welcome back to the channel. I have another fun video for you today. We alluded to it in the end of the last couple of videos on the channel, but Trent and I were both 2-0 at the end of the group stage of our most recent Canadian Highlander MTGO async tournament, which means we had to play to determine which one of us would make the top four guaranteed. I'm going to link both those videos in a card above, probably one on either side or something like that. And you can go watch our extended thoughts on our decks there. I'm not going to add the deck text in again, just because this video is already quite long. And on that note, I do want to say I have cut this up in a way where you will likely see gameplay repeated occasionally, but Trent and I both recorded this with no comms during the game, and because it's a tournament match and we're both, I think, thinking a lot, and maybe we weren't thinking quite as much about not talking on the other person's turn and trying to talk everything out, there's a fair amount of overlap, but I thought it was more important to give you the clear perspective of where both of us were in terms of our game plan throughout the games. They were really interesting games, so the video is a bit longer, and you will occasionally see repeated gameplay where you see it from one person's POV and you get the sense of why they made that play, and then you'll see something happen and you'll likely get cut back in time to see why that person made that play as well. So let me know what you think. I have typically shied away from editing the videos in this style because it makes them longer and because you're seeing the same thing twice. But with this, we were both pretty analytical the whole time, and I didn't want to chop out anything that I felt like would be like particularly relevant to why a person made a particular play. So I've left it pretty intact in terms of our thoughts during each of the individual turns. I hope you liked the video. This tournament was super fun. We'll definitely be posting some content from the top four as well, because as you know, at least one of Trent or I made the top four, so we'll include some of that content as well as a bunch of other decks. We've got some new sets coming out. Pretty excited. I'm very excited to play with Avatar: The Last Airbender cards in particular, so look forward to that kind of stuff coming soon on the channel as well. But without further ado, I will throw it to the match.
Liam and I are battling it out to see whose deck is better in the 2-0 bracket of this MTGO Async League. So it is still possible that both of us make it to the top four, because a second place player from each seed or from each group is randomly getting chosen to go to the top four. So
one second place player of the three second place players.
Yeah. So let's see whose deck is better. I think it's gonna be good for us to mute for our games here.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I'll see you
talk
on the
in
other
between.
side.
Yeah,
All
sounds
right.
good.
Bye. All right, so I am going to prioritize interaction a lot in this matchup. So things like this hand I might keep. If I was in a little bit of a slower matchup, I could see that, but I think I'm going to mulligan. I just don't really have any interaction with Liam or what Liam's doing at all. This hand is a little more interesting. It's a little slow. And it's unfortunate because, like, sometimes the march or the removal spell will be good, and sometimes it won't. The question is, do I want to go down to 5 to, like, hunt for some interaction, right? I mean, I have a lot of discard. I have the Sin Collector, the Gastal Raider, the couple of discard 2-drops. But this hand, I'm on the play. I get to go Guide of Souls into Charming Prince, where I can scry to. I think this hand is tough because I also don't have blue mana. So, like, how I'm going to win the game really revolves around me, like, putting on an amount of pressure plus disruption. So that's why I'm kind of tempted to keep Guide of Souls into Charming Prince, but I think ultimately, like, Path and March are kind of bad enough. The Cloud Shift isn't really amazing in this hand. I don't have blue mana, and I don't have, like, a way to interact, so I'm going to mulligan. I think I'm at the point where I unfortunately have to keep this hand. I think going to 4 is really challenging. I could keep a Mockingbird to I guess One thing I didn't consider is that the removal spells can be good against Spy, because you get to exile their 1 mana plays, like um their elves. I think I might play Rafine's Tower first. I'm definitely getting rid of the Otherworldly Journey. I could play Rafine's Tower and get rid of Swamp and keep Mockingbird, Quantum Riddler, Palace Jailer. Then if Liam plays an elf, I can play a land, the Bloodstained Mire, then copy the elf with Mockingbird, get a white-black land, then turn 3 Jailer a bird. I'm going to keep this. We're definitely getting rid of Otherworldly Journey. And I think I'm going to get rid of the Swamp too.
Okay, so I'm deafened. So yeah, like I've been saying, the goal with these opening hands is basically you want to have a kill. This hand, unfortunately, would be great if it had a way to win the game, because look how much mana this hand makes. It's like turn 1, like land, Spirit Guide, Talisman, Elf, untap with 4 mana the next turn potentially, but there's no no kill and no path to a kill, so I think we have to mulligan this one. Okay, so this hand has some lands. It has the ability to ramp. Relevantly, none of these lands are untapped, which is unfortunate, but I still think this is a keep. So I know what Trent's playing. Trent's playing a Blink deck. It's definitely the hardest matchup for me in this group. So the things that I need to basically be watching out for from his side, he's got like several Mesmeric Fiend effects like Tide Hollow Scholar and Sin Collector, which is like genuinely terrifying. Like Sin Collector can take a land out of my hand currently. And then he also has a non-trivial amount of removal as well. I think this is a keep, though. It's just like you can't mulligan forever. And what this hand has the capacity to do is play lands, which is, I think, step number 1 in this matchup. And then also, Transit Mage can either find Birthing Pod or Goblin Charbelcher. And Charbelcher is actually secretly harder for him to interact with than the Spy combo. So I think that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to keep... And I think I want to just put back Culling the Weak. As much as the... Well, if I keep Culling the Weak, I'm either putting back Culling the Weak or I'm putting back a land. Because if I keep Culling the Weak and I make it to Transit Mage, like I can go Transit Mage and then I have Culling the Weak to sack the Transit Mage to put the Belcher into play right away. Trent went to 5, which tells me that he is looking for interaction. I think because I have the Solar Transformer, I am allowed to put back one of these lands. And I think I'm gonna just put back the Umara Wizard.
If Liam doesn't have an elf, getting rid of the Swamp is pretty bad. But I think when you're on 5 cards in a matchup where like there are certain things that matter a lot more than others, I think it makes sense to sort of play to your outs. Like I just had to hope. I feel like I had to hope that excuse me, that Liam had turn 1 elf. Let's get not Scrubland. Let's get under. Oh, actually no, I should get Scrubland because it's double white. All right, let's warp this Quantum Riddler here. Okay, we hit an Odawara. That's not the worst. Having Solitude isn't terrible either. There are some configurations of Liam's draws that could lead to the Solitude being reasonable.
Okay, so Rafine's Tower. Tap land is good for me. Less pressure. No Thoughtseize also is nice. Inquisition. Okay, well, I'm just going to play my land here and pass. If I draw an untapped land, I get to just develop the Solar Transformer, although I'm not even sure I would. But we'll see. Okay, so here is Bloodstained Mire from Trent. I'm expecting some kind of hand attack sooner rather than later in this matchup. I think that that's the kind of thing that Trent would have been mulliganing for. Ooh, Quantum Riddler. Nice. This card is sweet. Okay, so he's drawn a card. Putting something on layaway too, although if this game gets to the point where he has 5 mana to be casting Quantum Riddlers, that's a rough scene for me. Okay, so we'll cast this Birds of Paradise. Play this Crackling Falls. And now I need to start looking at whether or not I have lethal lines next turn. If I draw an untapped land, I do. If he has nothing, because I can go Transit Mage, get Birthing Pod, Pod, Transit Mage into Spy for a win. That combo costs 6 mana and 2 life, which I would have. If he kills the Birds of Paradise, I'm definitely just developing Solar Transformer, playing land. Okay, yeah. Yep, so he's going to kill the birds. I think this makes sense. This is a pretty tight play by Trent. I think he's also identified that like the bottleneck in this matchup a lot of the time is going to be mana, which is right. 100% right. And it also to me insinuates that his hand is low on other forms of disruption, because I don't think you would make that play if you had almost anything else to do.
Okay, so Liam did have a bird, but just didn't have an untapped green source. So now that we drew this Windswept Heath, I'm really challenged here, because if I Mockingbird this Birds of Paradise, I guess I can Mockingbird this Birds of Paradise and play Quantum Riddler on my next turn after I Solitude it. I think I want to Solitude the Birds of Paradise because I really want to slow Liam's mana development down. I also don't think Liam has a black source in hand, because if Liam did have a black source, I think he would have played it instead of this tapped blue-red source. So I'm going to play this... Oh, I needed to copy the bird. I totally forgot about copying the bird. Uh-oh. This Mockingbird's not going to be useful at all. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to be a turn behind on my Quantum Riddler, which is actually a pretty big deal. That was definitely a misplay from my perspective. I needed to copy the Birds of Paradise first. In reality, I kind of wish I had drawn a white card, because then I could have just played Windswept Heath, Solitude of the Bird, passed. Or not Windswept Heath, played Otawara, and then hope to draw a 4th land and play Palace Jailer. The funny thing is Liam has a lot to consider here.
Okay, so I drew Fell the Profane here. I think drawing the Fell means... So if I play the Fell the Profane as an untapped land here, I can put the Transit Mage in play and then basically put the kill in my hand and say it's on you to find a way not to die. And I would even have 7 mana next turn to Belcher plus activate. The other option, I could also play Fell the Profane plus Solar Transformer and an Inquisition of Kozilek Trent this turn. I think his hand is pretty weak, so I don't think I like that. And then the third option is just play Solar Transformer, play tap land, and then play Fell the Profane as a land next turn. I should just learn what this land is called. But play that next turn and be able to go like Inquisition, then play Transit Mage, and I would also be able to play Transit Mage. I mean, I'm going to be choked on black that way though, because I would have 3, 4, 5 lands, so I could go Inquisition and then have 4 left, play Transit Mage, have 1 left, activate, go get something, I guess probably Charbelcher, and then Culling the Weak, play Charbelcher, plan to win the next turn after Inquisitioning him. I mean, I'm under no pressure. I think because I'm under no pressure, I'm better off just developing mana so that I can try and do as much as possible. Like, nothing in my hand is so key that I need it to resolve right away. Okay, yeah, so here's the Surveil land from Trent. He's also only on 2 cards relevantly, so...
Because I haven't really, like, done a whole lot. Like, I don't have a lot of aggression. I'm mulligan to 5. So, like, from Liam's perspective, he's probably thinking, does he have the opposition agent? Does he have like some sort of other flash threat? He might be looking through my deck list right now to see what I have access to. Am I playing opposition agent? I don't even know. Do I even know my own deck list? But yeah, not copying the bird there is a pretty big mistake. The only nice thing is that if I have Mockingbird in hand, it does make some of my other draws like a lot more explosive. Like if I draw Sin Collector or Gastal Raider, for example, and I'm able to take a card from Liam's hand, then maybe I can Mockingbird it the next turn. Or if okay, Solar Transformer. Yeah, let's fetch here. Let's just grab the Meticulous Archive. Dowerport Mage is not really doing it for me. Engines are nice, but I really don't want to worry about that here. So I think Liam is choked on black mana. So I think I'm actually gonna bounce the Solar Transformer, even though it keeps me off of Quantum Riddler for another turn if I don't draw land next turn. I think I basically just have to do it. Let's grab Underground Sea. I think keeping Liam, like slowing Liam down on mana, giving me time to draw into something more potentially relevant is a little better. I do wish I had a Birds of Paradise in play right now. Like I would have a Quantum Riddler in play attacking instead of just like keeping Liam at 20 life, doing things that feel ultimately pretty like they're not moving my game plan forward, so I don't feel like super good about them.
Okay, so he put the Dowerport Mage in the graveyard, which again, yeah, that makes sense. That doesn't matter in this matchup. He's just looking for interaction. Like the Solitude play also like clearly indicates I'm low on interaction and I'm looking to do something. So probably what I'm starting my next turn with is just playing Inquisition, and then I'll see what I'm doing from there. Hopefully this isn't... what would he have for 4? I should probably pull his deck list up. I know I've looked at it a bunch, but I should probably have it up on my other screen. Oh, wow. Otawara. Okay. Yeah, that is a sign of weakness for sure. And ironically, actually, it's better for me that he Otawaras the Solar Transformer there, because I think I'm gonna go for the Belcher kill. He has 1 card in hand. The best thing he can do, like if he has land, he's going like land Quantum Riddler next turn. I mean, the other option is honestly to just Inquisition him and see if the coast is clear, and then put the Transit Mage in play. But I think I'm just supposed to jam, honestly. He can't have any free interaction. There's just the subset of things that he can have that stop this next turn, like in between this turn and next turn, are just like not very high. And the other choice I have here is I could get Birthing Pod, and I could just wait till next turn and plan to be potting my win that way, and I could Inquisition him this turn, so he just gets like whatever the top card is off of his deck. If it's a removal spell, then I have a Birthing Pod in play, or I can put a Birthing Pod in play and any 2 or 3 wins the game. Or I can get Belcher. I think it's better to get Belcher. Um, and I think it is better to just put it in play right now. This loses to Daze. I don't remember if it's in his list or not, but it does lose to Daze relevantly. So I don't think he's super high on interaction for artifacts, as noted by the fact that he Odowar'd the Solar Transformer.
The dream draw here, I think, is probably... Yeah, it has to be like Sin Collector or Gas Accelerator to try and take something that, like, is part of Liam's game plan. Although I am feeling pretty bad about it being going to my turn 5 and having dealt 0 damage to the Spy deck. Okay, Liam taking 3 from the Fellmire. Does he have Natural Spy? Okay, no. He's finding an artifact with mana value 4 or 5. Oh, he's going to find Goblin Charbelcher. That's pretty interesting. If I draw land, I just have to slam Quantum Riddler here and hope. If I draw... So I know he has Solar Transformer in hand. So even a draw like Skullcap Snail or the Acquisitions Expert plus copying it doesn't really seem like it would do a whole lot. Calling the Weak. Oh, I see. He's looking to just get the Charbelcher into play. Okay, that's cool. All right, so I need to draw a way to deal with this Charbelcher, otherwise I'm gonna lose. Okay, let's see what I would have gotten if I had played my Quantum Riddler, like, just to see how, like, what I could have done earlier. Oh, wow, I would have actually had the Witch Enchanter this turn, but I don't have it. Because I didn't copy the Birds of Paradise. Really thin margins here. I'm gonna undeafen.
But yeah, he could draw something, but this is probably just Quantum Riddler. And yeah, it's the Riddler. He's gonna draw 2 cards here, but Solitude is gone. Almost nothing else does anything, I don't think. He played a land already this turn. He could Grief me for info, but yep, so we get the win. Let's undeafen. I think we're going to talk in between games. I'm not sure, though. Hello. We are talking between games.
What up? Okay, well, I figured talking between games is good, just, like, not during.
Yeah.
I made a big blunder there. I was supposed to Mockingbird your Birds of Paradise, because then I can play Quantum Riddler the next turn with no cards in hand. And
what if I told you that if you did anything other than kill the birds, you were dying on your next turn?
So I was going to Mockingbird the birds, then kill it with Solitude.
Then Solitude.
I just like tunnel visioned on making sure that I killed the birds. But it's funny, I even talked about it. I was like, okay, I'm going to Mockingbird this, then I'm going to Solitude it. And then I just like Solituded it without Mockingbirding it. But that meant that I didn't play Quantum Riddler digging too deeper into my deck. And since the game ended up the way it was, I mean, it's not always going to be like this, but so I played the Quantum Riddler to see what I would have had access to, and I actually would have had the Witch Enchanter to kill the Charbelcher. Plus, I would have been attacking for 4 the whole time. So I was like, brutal. It was actually like a really big misplay in a way that like
it genuinely mattered.
Yeah, I think I like bouncing your Solar Transformer because I could tell that you're choked on black mana. But like, yeah, if that whole game I also had a 4/6 that was attacking you, I could maybe have won it. But yeah,
yeah,
very close.
Yeah, I was trying to because you mulliganed to 5. I was kind of trying to like not let myself die to something silly. Like I only had 1 win condition. I just had the Transit Mage. So I was like playing pretty slow to try and like set up the best possible win. So like I had an Inquisition, for example, at one point that I had in my hand the whole game. I just never cast it because as you said, I was kind of choked on black mana.
Yeah.
But I just decided to go for the mana development route and just try and like set up a turn where I could do it all in one go because all your interaction is going to be like mostly on the stack. And I figured like if you had discard spell, you were going to be you would have already discard spelled me. So like I was just kind of like, well, I'm not going to play around what could be on the top of your deck. I would rather try and find a way to play around what might be in your hand.
Yeah, and dude, the calling the week there was actually super huge because I would
Yeah,
have had the
very
extra
good.
time to play the Witch Enchanter if you couldn't
Hmm.
put it out that turn.
Yep.
So plus 1 point to calling the week, like
Yeah.
genuinely was very good there.
Yeah, the card is great. All right, shall we go to
All
game
right.
two?
Yep. Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think based on the way that game played out, I actually win if I get the Birds of Paradise into play. But uh, I guess we can't really like tell that for sure because I think I'm gonna keep this hand. Um, March to kill their or push or march to kill his bird. Skullcap Snail just to slow him down a little bit. Force of Will in hand, so I can shadow Backstreet into like a Force of Will. I think I'm gonna keep it. Um,
Okay, so on the draw again. Again, we're just looking for ways to win the game as quickly as possible. Again, I think this is a mulligan. Lots of lands and waterlogged teachings is a win, but it's a very slow win. So waterlogged teachings can find Vampiric Tutor, and then Vampiric Tutor can put obviously Spy on top. So like for 5 mana, sort of for 4 mana, I guess, as long as you have the 5th mana. Maybe I'm talking myself into this being a keep actually, because I have 2 untapped lands, which are usually one of like the kind of choke points. Guy can go Bridgeworks Battle, play Fintorn Elves. The next turn, play a tap land, have 3 mana. The next turn, play Fell the Profane, have 4 mana, go for Waterlogged Teachings, and then I would have the win the next turn. So this is a turn 4, but it has no interaction, and it's pretty fragile. Like, my elf can die, like we saw, and I think I'm supposed to mulligan. Trent kept a 7 too, which makes me feel like he's got some interaction in his hand. Although maybe Trent having interaction means that this handful of mana is actually good, and I can just plan on living off the top of my deck. Yeah, actually, you know what? The more I think about it, the more I think that mulliganing is bad, because if I get like attritioned here, or if for whatever reason he has a way to kind of strip out the waterlog teachings, like it's not the end of the world here because I have more redundancy in terms of my mana development. Whereas if I mulligan to a hand that's faster but like has fewer cards, I might well be in a spot. Oh well. If that just hasn't been the story of this tournament for me, okay, well, Trent has 1 turn. He probably doesn't know that he has 1 turn, but man, I have been turn twoing my brain off in this tournament.
yeah, based on the way that game played out, we would have won, but that doesn't matter. Like if I had chosen not to copy the bird because I felt like it was correct and lost because I didn't copy it, I still think you're supposed to do that. I just like it definitely was a misplay. But I think this hand has a lot of potential. I'm hoping that Liam's hand is leaning on a mana dork. Or like some sort of artifact that adds mana that I could get rid of. If I shadowy backstreet any blue card, I'm gonna keep it for the Force of Will, I think. The awkward thing about this hand is that I don't actually have a lot of pressure. But I do have the Eerie Interlude, so if I draw some combination of like a couple of creatures that have some ETBs, like maybe I can get an engine going. Excuse me. The Skullcap Snail is also really good against like if Liam mulligans. I assume Spy is a deck that like has to mulligan some percentage of the time, like because of the like nature of your deck. I'm gonna get rid of I'm gonna keep this Dowerport Mage because I want the blue card. So yeah, since Liam does like probably mulligan more than an average like mid-range deck. So the question here is, do I kill the elves? Blue land into Findhorn Elves. I could just Skullcap Snail. But I think the Snail might be better when Liam has actually played more cards. So I think I'm just going to play this island, and I'm going to Fatal Push the Elves and hold the March for like a piece of artifact interaction.
If Trent has a discard spell here, then we keep playing. Looks like he does. Oh, he has Fatal Push. Okay, so we keep playing. Has some interaction. Good. So that is fine. Neoform. Okay, Neoform's interesting. It's another kind of path forward. I'm wondering if I now want to just get rid of the waterlogged teachings. I don't think I do, because Vampiric Tutor for Reanimate, if this spy gets discarded, is a pretty real plan. So I'm just going to play tapped Blackland and pass. Again, if Trent had discard spell, he would have discard spelled there. It's better than playing removal spell. If he has some kind of pressure, then he just dies to the Balustrade Spy. Importantly, Trent does have a card that is pretty rough for me, which is Consigned to Memory. That one is very challenging to beat, but I can't play around it. When you're playing Spy, you're kind of signing up for like make them have it, and I am definitely just going to make Trent have it here, and then we'll clean up the pieces afterwards if he does have it. Ooh. Okay, drawing the Narcomoeba means that I can't go off here, right? Because I won't have enough material, because I need the Narcomoeba. I need the Narcomoeba in play, or I need an extra mana. So because I drew the Narcomoeba, I think I'm supposed to just play this Slundi Vision as a land, and yeah, I have to pass. This is unfortunate. That was basically the worst draw on my deck, honestly. And obviously, this is the one issue with playing a deck like this, where you have bricks that you can draw. Like when you draw them, if you draw the worst ones, then it's pretty bad. I think I answered a comment about this in another video, but I think that drawing Narcomoeba is probably the most inconvenient thing to have happen. It's the hardest one to play through, just on the basis that it is the thing that gives you material in play.
Yeah, based on the way that game played out, we would have won, but that doesn't matter. Like, if I had chosen not to copy the bird because I felt like it was correct and lost because I didn't copy it, I still think you're supposed to do that. I just, like, it definitely was a misplay. But I think this hand has a lot of potential. I'm hoping that Liam's hand is leaning on a Mana Dork. Or like some sort of artifact that adds mana that I could get rid of. If I Shadowy Backstreet any blue card, I'm going to keep it for the Force of Will, I think. The awkward thing about this hand is that I don't actually have a lot of pressure. But I do have the Eerie Interlude, so if I draw some combination of like a couple of creatures that have some ETBs, like maybe I can get an engine going. Excuse me. The Skullcap Snail is also really good against like if Liam mulligans. I assume Spy is a deck that like has to mulligan some percentage of the time, like because of the like nature of your deck. I'm gonna get rid of I'm gonna keep this Dowerport Mage because I want the blue card. So yeah, since Liam does like probably mulligan more than an average like mid-range deck. So the question here is, do I kill the elves? Blue land into Findhorn Elves. I could just Skullcap Snail. But I think the Snail might be better when Liam has actually played more cards. So I think I'm just going to play this island, and I'm going to Fatal Push the Elves and hold the March for like a piece of artifact interaction. So now Liam's going to need some sort of discard spell plus enough mana to put Spy into play after I play a Skullcap Snail. So I'm feeling like I'm in an okay position, though I don't have any pressure. So I think my best draws are like more lands to get my Eerie Interlude going, or maybe maybe Liam doesn't do anything worth Force of Willing here, and I draw a blue card. Then I can play Skullcap Snail into Dowerport Mage into Eerie Interlude them both, draw 2 cards, or maybe just 1 card. Played the tap land. Do I want to play Wall of Omens or the Snail? I think I actually want to play Wall. I think I really want to hit this land drop if I can. And the Snail's dice, but Liam has 6 cards in hand, so let's play a C. So now next turn I can play the Snail, and if I draw land, I'm happy with a 4th land drop. If I don't draw land, then maybe I want to draw a blue card because, well, maybe I want to draw a blue card because I want to go Snail into Dowerport Mage and then keep bouncing my Snail to try and lock Liam out of the game. I do want to play Snail next turn regardless, because if I play Snail, then I can Eerie Interlude the following turn. Oh, Opposition Agent. Wow. So the question is, do I want to hold up Opposition Agent? I think I do. I think spending the mana on the Opposition Agent is going to be a little more efficient. Excuse me. And again, the Snail, when Liam has 6 cards in hand, is like totally fine, but it isn't perfect by any means. So, like, I think I want to play Opposition Agent here, hopefully in response to some sort of tutor. If Liam does nothing, will I play Opposition Agent on end step? I think I will. I think I want to get started. I want to get the beat started.
I kind of think I'm just supposed to jam and use my Elvish Spirit Guide to do so. Like, Trent has some counter spells in his deck. He has some flash threats in his deck. He has some removal spells in his deck. And obviously all of those things would be somewhat tricky to overcome. But at the same time, if I just keep waiting, I'm not certain how much better this gets for me. Let's see. What other plays do I have access to? Like, I could always just play the Fell the Profane as a land and plan to cast Waterlogged Teachings on Trent's end step. And I could use that to go get Dark Ritual to give myself more mana on the combo turn. I don't think that really matters, having extra mana. I mean, it matters a little bit, but it's not going to be the decider as to whether or not I'm able to go off. And then Waterlogged Teachings doesn't find a lot in the way of interaction very quickly. I'm trying to think about what... are there any instants in my deck? Did I put any instants in my deck that are meaningful interaction pieces? This is a spot where having like Force of Will in my deck might be good, but I just don't have that. I think I'm jamming. And I think the reason that I'm jamming is that even if this ends up in the... Oh, wait. Leave the blue land and tap Liam. Holy... if this gets countered, then I can start trying to work my way to find Reanimate or something like that to refire another combo. I can put the Narcomoeba in play and try and Neo form it into a Spy as well. Okay, so he has Force. That's fine. That's honestly like pretty close to best possible for me in terms of things he could have had to interact with this.
Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna force the will this and interesting. Why did Liam leave the blue up? Is it because of Flusterstorm? I don't know how many counter spells Liam's playing. I could check his list, but again, I'm, whatever. Uh okay, so we're gonna play the Oppo agent, and then I'm gonna play the Skullcap Snail and just hope that that's good enough. I think that has to be where I'm at. Then I Eerie Interlude the next turn, and Liam's pretty low on resources at that stage, but he's not out for the count. I do get to get rid of any searching effects that he has, unless he has the ability to spend mana on killing the opposition agent. I mean, if Liam has Undercity Informer, he could just play land Undercity Informer. I'm definitely keeping this Grief on top. Okay, so if we live through this turn, I think we're pretty likely to win if I get to untap and play Grief.
If he then has a way to eat the spy out of the graveyard, it's like a little bit annoying, but like I said, like I still have other paths to victory here. Ooh, okay. Oppo is pretty gross. That's not good. The hate bears are the ones that are going to be tricky. Now, obviously, like beating the force of will, like the fatal push force of will opposition agent hand is just going to be hard a lot of the time anyway. So hard to feel all that bad about that. What am I exiling out of my hand? Probably Neoform. The Teachings is at least a land. Although now from this spot, I need to find more than just a land. I need to pretty much naturally draw something. I guess I can put the Narcomoeba in play and then try and Vastwood Fortification it to kill the opposition agent. Yeah, okay, so like as much as I would love to just slam this Transit Mage, I cannot. But I will play this Narcomoeba and I'll pass and maybe we can get him. We're really in the mud now.
Narcomoeba, okay, that's really good for us. We love to see that. Okay, getting to Grief here is a big deal, because then the next turn I get to Eerie Interlude on Liam's Draw Step and further cement my victory if there is one to be had. Okay, putting in 1/1 counter on Narcomoeba. That's pretty cool. I kind of like a bunch of the interactions in this deck. Okay, 2 tutors. If my Oppo agent does die, which tutor do I care about the most? I guess I'm gonna take Waterlog Teachings because no, I actually should take Transit Mage. Because if Liam draws 1 mana piece of removal that takes care of opposition agent, then I don't want to give Liam access to 1 mana removal into play Transit Mage, get a Chart Belcher. I guess that would be fine because I'd just be able to Eerie Interlude on his oh no, I can't do it on his draw step because they come in entered tapped, so I guess I'll just attack next turn with the Grief and then Eerie Interlude both of these to get rid of both cards in Liam's hand. I wonder if he's going to play the Waterlog Teachings tapped or not. He does. Heads up. I like that.
I have several Reanimates in my deck. I have Actual Reanimate, and I also have Postmortem Lunge is another one. Oh, I'm getting griefed? Okay, well, I will put a counter on this Narcomoeba now in order to at least stymie the offensive from the opposition agent. Neither of these cards matter very much as long as it's in play. So it doesn't really matter what Trent takes here. I have some removal spells in my deck, definitely, but I would like... So I could draw Abrupt Decay here. It's possible I want another removal spell or two. Okay, yeah. So Trent took the Transit Mage. I think that makes sense. It's an actual creature that can like attack and block on the board, which matters. Jack-o'-lantern. Well, I'll play this, and I'll just cycle it now. I think I'll exile Force of Will out of Trent's graveyard. And I will play the Inundated Archive now. Unpop out my graveyard. And I'll just pass. Under a fairly large amount of pressure now. It's also worth noting that if I get below 5 life, I can't use Reanimate as a way to get back Balustrade Spy, even if I draw that one. Post-Mortem Lunge still works for at least this turn. But this Narcomoeba with a +1/+1 counter is doing a decent job of holding down the fort, at least for now. And I'll put the Fate Stitcher in play next turn as well.
As some commentators in the Magic community say, that's a heads-up play. I could just kill Narcomoeba here, but I think I can just do that the following turn because it can't block the Grief. So I think I'm going to attack with Grief, then I'm going to Eerie Interlude, put Liam at 0 cards in hand. And I die to like top deck Undercity Informer. Because I don't think there's any way for me to prevent that, right? I guess Narcomoeba isn't in the graveyard, so how many creatures would Liam have when he goes off? If he draws Undercity Informer, he needs the extra mana to get an extra creature, but I can't counter Cabal Therapy. I do get to draw an extra card off of Wall of Omens, which is kind of interesting. Okay, let's just get in there with the Grief here, and then we'll Eerie Interlude. Yeah, I feel like Eerie Interlude is a lot worse than I thought it was. I mean, it's still, like, obviously pretty reasonable, but... I want to put the Grief trigger on the stack after the Skullcap Snail, because there's only one card. I want it to be exiled. I don't want to discard it. And that worked out in our favor because of the Fate Stitcher. Okay, so I think if Liam draws Undercity Informer here, he wins.
So yeah, this Opposition Agent, if it was just Force of Will, it's pretty interesting, honestly, how much interaction I could have played through here, because I think if you exclude any one piece of interaction that Trent has, he loses this game. Like, if he doesn't have the Force, he dies, obviously. If he doesn't have the Opposition Agent, he probably dies after forcing me. If he doesn't have the Fatal Push, I think the sequencing works out such that I get to slip a tutor in before he can put the Opposition Agent in play. So he really did need, like, all 3 pieces of, like, pretty premium direct interaction. Which is, honestly, a good side for this deck. Oh my god. He's eerie interluding me. Yeah, so he'll take this Fate Stitcher out of my hand and draw an extra card. Okay. Ooh, and yeah, getting it exiled is nasty too, but it doesn't really matter. If I can put the Spy into play, it's still a lethal. Abrupt Decay. Okay. Okay. Not nothing. We're still gaming. We've got maybe another turn in us. Oh, I punted here. I probably was supposed to try and decay now because Trent has access to a bunch of flicker effects. And that's actually a way he could save the Opposition Agent from this Abrupt Decay. But I missed it. Yeah. Oh well, it's okay. So, just trying to think. What is the best line here? It's probably Yeah, I'm going to have to just Abrupt Decay on end step now. I'm going to take 3 down to 5. So this is probably like my last turn, realistically, that I have a decent number of outs. Balustrade Spy is still a win. Or not, sorry. Undercity Informer is still a win. Destroy the Evidence would technically work because I already have the Narcomoeba in play. Okay, he's got Journey. I will try and Abrupt Decay this. Okay, so little bit of a window here potentially. All right, so I got 1 draw step, more or less. I'm losing my non-existent card in hand here. All right, get there. Oh, Inquisition. Okay. Well, I'll cast it. There's no reason not to. March of Otherworldly Light plus Skyclave Apparition. Unfortunate. So I'm dead, right? Because this Narcomoeba dies, regardless of which thing I take. And then, yeah, all right, we can wrap it up here.
Oh, but I can grief him. It's the next end step still. So I can't even grief him. So I think I'm just going to exile this Narcomoeba and hit Liam down to 1. Does that make the most sense? I could just hit him for 3 again and then do that on the next turn. Hold up Otherworldly Journey and March. I could Otherworldly Journey the Snail. So Liam kept the card in hand, so I think I actually am supposed to Otherworldly Journey the Snail. I think I'm just gonna attack for. Let's play the Archive. Maybe I see something that I want to grab off this Wall of Omens. Let's put that in the graveyard. Just attack for 3 here. We don't have lethal. Okay, so I think I am gonna Otherworldly Journey the Snail. I just want to give Liam like as little outs as possible. Liam also might be holding the card in hand. Okay, that makes sense. It's okay. The Otherworldly Journey wouldn't do anything. Oh, well, it sort of would. Well, no, it wouldn't do anything against it anyways, because Liam would fade, or not fade it, but now I actually have lethal in play still, which is nice. Is it the Undercity Informer? Okay. Yeah. All right. We bring it to a decisive game 3. Because, I guess Liam... well, it doesn't matter what Liam takes. I just get to Skyclave the Narcomoeba anyways. Wow. Weird game.
Hello.
Weird game.
Well, I don't think it was. I was actually saying it's pretty interesting. If you didn't have one of Force, Fatal Push, Oppo, I think you die, which is surprisingly resilient.
Like a lot of things I have to have. Yeah,
you literally had to have all 3 of them. So I was killing you on turn 2 if you didn't Fatal Push the
birds or the elf,
the elf, and then. So let's say I present the win on turn 2 because you don't have the Fatal Push. You force, but then because you have to force then, I don't think you have the window to develop Opposition Agent before I get to tutor for another win.
I see.
So it's like you had to have each piece of interaction right on pace with my win presentation. Although I will say this game was closer to what I envisioned this matchup to being like.
It felt a lot grindier than it should have been from my perspective, because I was like, I have the Skullcap Snail, I have a Force of Will, and and it just turned out that like I thought the Snail would be good against you, but
it's fine.
It was okay. I think your deck kind of has a lot of like, especially if you keep 7, you have a lot of cards that are pretty
well, and I kept a 7-card hand.
Easy to put away.
Yeah, I kept a 7-card hand that was mostly mana, and then I only had the Waterlog Teachings as a win condition. And and then I drew the spy because that's what this tournament has been like for me. But drew the turn 2. But my theory was a lot of your interaction involves attacking my hand. And yeah, it's gonna suck if you go like turn 1 Thoughtseize my Waterlog Teachings and I don't have a win. But it's better to be in that position with 5 mana available or 6 mana available than it is to mulligan to 5, have you Thoughtseize my win, and have 2 mana available. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
totally.
I think the fact that this deck just like actually gets to play lands now is like so messed up. Like it's just like it's so much less glass cannon than it looks.
I also like this deck isn't nearly as aggressive as other decks are. Like if you're playing against like regular Esper midrange, for example, like they could go, you know, kill your thing into Psychic Frog, right? and that would just be like a really big deal. But this deck doesn't really have the same level of aggression because it's trading that aggression for the grindy nature of the deck, right? And so I also found it interesting, like a lot of the flickers that I played that game were not that useful to me because I couldn't do them on your draw step. Like Eerie Interlude, they come back end step. Otherworldly Journey, it comes back end step. Like I was screaming for, you know, a Cloud Shift or
something you could do in my draw step.
Yeah, because I was still like, well, if Liam draws Undercity Informer, I die. Like, all right.
Or reanimate.
Game 3 to decide who once and for all is going to take it down. Good luck, buddy.
Good luck. Good luck.
All right. Oh, this hand is so cool, but it does nothing against what Liam's doing. I play turn 1 Tameo into turn 2 Philia. At some point, I would get to Philia blank my Overlord, but I just don't really think I can keep this hand in this matchup. It's just too slow. Has no interaction. Unfortunately, I have to mulligan. Duress into Galcel Raider with a Force of Negation in my hand is really good. I think there's an argument for keeping the Skyclave. I think I'm going to get rid of it because I really want to guarantee that I cast Galcel Raider on turn 3. And Skyclave isn't necessarily going to be good. It's specifically really good against Goblin Charbelcher, which is like sort of why I'm considering keeping it. But I think in this game, I really need to... I don't think I can get double white. I actually want to get double blue for holding out Force of Negation on Liam's turn if I don't draw a blue card. So I think I'm going to get rid of the Skyclave here.
Yeah, okay, so I get to go first for the first time in this match, which is probably good for me. Although this hand is definitely a mulligan. Unfortunately, having the Dread Return in hand it's pretty close to the worst brick you could have in hand. And then this hand doesn't have a win. And unlike the last one where I was happy to keep like a bunch of mana plus a very slow win, this one just doesn't have anything. So I'm going to have to mulligan this one. Okay, and this hand, it's actually really awkward, isn't it? It looked so good at first. It had the Undercity Informer. It looks like it has mana, but it actually doesn't. It has a tapped blue source. Man, I think you have to mulligan this one too, unfortunately. All right, well, I'm not happy about it, but this is definitely the best hand I've seen so far. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep black source, blue source, green source, lively dirge, birds, and I'll put these 2 back. I think it's more important to keep permanent sources of mana than it is to keep the one-shot mana in this spot because my win costs 5 mana. So unfortunate. This is definitely not the spot I wanted to be in against the really grindy deck. Oh my god. Sorry, and now I'm being invaded by a cat.
I am going to turn 1 Duress Liam, I think. The Spy deck just can present really fast wins, and I think against other combo decks, I might not turn 1 Duress because turn 2 is not that likely. I think where I'm at here is Liam mulligan to 5. Duress can take lands some percentage of the time, which might be like a really important... it might be like a really important piece of Liam's hand. So I think I am going to get Underground Sea Duress here, and the next turn I can play Spirited Companion into Galstal Raider. Let's get Underground Sea. Let's Duress. Okay, so I think I'm gonna take the Lively Dirge. I can't really cut Liam off of mana here. I am gonna get to take. I'm not gonna get to take another land off of Liam unless he draws something, but I think that's fine. I think the Dirge is enough threatening, and I just don't really care about the rest of the cards in the hand. Like, I don't think Agadeem's Awakening is that good, and even if it ends up being good, like for the context of Liam's next draws, I'm just going to be able to take it with Gastal Raider on turn 3. Like, there's no way he's ever casting this for anything other than like 1 or 2.
Yeah, you're gonna beat me up too. Trent's been discarding me to death, and now you're here to finish the job. Yeah, okay, so now he finally has the Duress, which is he hasn't had it in the other 2 games, but the turn 1 discard spell is really a pretty nightmarish for this deck. I think if I'm him, I actually would take the Agadeem's Awakening and not the Lively Dirge. It's just so expensive, and even though I get to go like land Ornithopter here, his deck has a bunch of removal, and I think the actual mana sources are more important. Oh, interesting. Okay, he thinks differently. Well, I'll take it, because I think that's better for me, unless he has a bunch of other interaction, which God knows he very well might. So, kind of a weird spot here, but I will play the Crypt, and we'll develop the Ornithopter of Paradise. The other option, obviously, was to play Green Source plus Llanowar Elves, but I think having a black source in play is more important in the face of a potential follow-up discard spell. There's just more black spells that matter than green. What the dog do? All right, so the dog is drawing a card.
So yeah, it looks like he's just gonna take the shock, play the Ornithopter. Yep. I mean, the scary thing about this deck is if Liam draws Spy, I just die here. Like, I have no recourse. I could draw a removal spell, like a costed removal spell. I really want to draw a blue card here to go with my Force of Negation to cut off Liam's potential outs here. Oh my god, Subtlety was an insane draw. Liam is going to look back at this game and go like, wow, Trenton really did have it all. Because this insulates me from Spy, and it also insulates me from other stuff. Although it doesn't insulate me from Spy for like a long time. Like, Liam could, if I Subtlety the Spy, I'm still dead to it the next turn, right? I guess I could like maybe draw a removal spell for the Ornithopter to slow it down another turn, but it's not like I have any pressure going on, really.
Okay, so Spy is a win here. That's something at least. Is Birthing Pod a win here? No, right? I'm 1 mana off of Pod being a win. Huh. Okay. Interesting. So the dilemma here is, do you put the pod in play, or try to put the pod in play, and then he knows my hand has a land in it, he doesn't know about the elf. I can next turn, so I can put the pod in play, and I can pod Ornithopter into Undercity Informer, which is pretty good. Obviously, it says you have to kill this Undercity Informer or you lose. All right. I think, yeah, champion, I know. We're gaming. I think the play is to put this pod in play, or try to put this pod in play and see what he does. Yep, I know.
I guess for me, the dream scenario here is like Liam plays a land, passes, I play Gastal Raider, take a really relevant piece of interaction. Also, Liam could like play land, play like something that I'm going to force a negation. I force a negation it, then I play Ghastly Raider, take the last card out of his hand, and then he basically is just live drawing to Charbelcher or is this the flip side of yeah, okay. So I don't know any cards in Liam's hand anymore. Birthing Pod. I think Birthing Pod is relevant enough that I need to force a negation it, because I don't think I'm going to be able to kill Liam in time fast enough to deal with the spy coming out in the following turns.
Because there's a decent chance he kills the Ornithopter in response. Oh, okay, he just has force of negation. Gross. All right, well, that's fine. It makes all of my all of my pondering easier. He had to pitch Subtlety, though. Okay, so that's interesting. That means, because Subtlety would have also been a card that he wants to have in his hand. So I would say those are likely the only two blue cards he had in hand, was Force and Subtlety. Yeah, I can't discard cards that I don't have. My clever plan of mulliganing to 5 really working out here. No blocks, although I might start soon. Denying the start your engine's not typically going to matter, I don't think. Huh. Am I just casting this? I think I'm just casting this, right? And we're just gonna start battling. Like, having the 6th mana is fine and all, but I want turns, and my read is that Trent's hand is not that high on disruption anymore, because he had to pitch Subtlety to force a negation. Like, if he has discard spells, unless they're draw step, they don't matter. All right, I have to get this cat down. Sorry.
Okay, Llanowar Elves. So my Ghastly Raider's not going to be good here, but that's fine. Okay, so basically it's just a race to see who can, like, can Liam draw something that is relevant before I win with my damage. The Ornithopter of Paradise, kind of hot here, is going to be blocking my Spirited Companion. So I might actually end up Fel the Profaning it next turn. It's basically a top deck race here. Like, if I draw something relevant, like an opposition agent, then I'm going to win. If Liam draws like Spy or Charbelcher, then he's going to win. Okay, so I have to kill this Black Bloom Rogue because it stops me from attacking. You know what? You know what's funny? I actually don't really have like good attacks here. Okay, Recruiter of the Guard is a good draw. I should actually look at my deck list now. Since it is open deck list, I should make sure that I'm not throwing when I go to find when I go to find my creature. Okay, so I'm looking at the visual spoiler right now. So my Recruiter of the Guard options are I can get like Fiend, Dower Port Mage, Philia. I could get Snapcaster, but Snapcaster, like, I guess keeps up Force of Negation, but doesn't save me from other stuff. I could Recruiter the Guard into Soul Herder and then just like try to Soul Herder win with Recruiter the Guard. I can Recruiter into Starfield Shepherd, Palace Jailer. The thing is, drawing cards isn't nearly as relevant as being able to interact with what Liam does when he draws it. So I could also Recruiter the Guard into Spellseeker to get Consigned to Memory next turn to counter oh, if I get Hide on the Ceiling, do I just win? Like, is there a moment where I can, like, because he'll have to cast well, that involves me going after 3 turns. I mean, I am playing Recruiter. I just need to figure out what my plan is. Like, do I want to keep the Spell to Profane? Like, do I want to have access to the Spell to Profane? Recruiter for Bowmasters doesn't feel like it really works. I could Recruiter for Oppo Agent, which next turn means that Liam wouldn't be able to use any of the tutors that he has in play. Or he wouldn't be able to use any of the tutors that he has in his deck. I think that's probably where I have to be. The tough thing about recruiting for Oppo Agent is it gives Liam so much time, like, because I'm never attacking into this 2/3 menace. Like, if I recruiter and I get Soul Herder, then I can I can start looping recruiter, and then I'm actually like for sure winning. And I still get the Oppo Agent on the not this next turn, but the following, like the 2 turns after. So I give Liam 2 draw steps to draw something relevant instead of 1. I think I'm gonna get. I think I'm just gonna get Opposition Agent. I don't want to give Liam as that many draw steps. Especially when the Oppo Agent can shut off a lot of tutoring. Excuse me. Okay, where's the Opposition Agent? I think that's the best thing. I can't think of anything else that would be better. Like, Bogger Trawler doesn't work. If I had a flicker effect, Bogger Trawler would work. Like a full tilt flicker effect. Like, Soul Herder, Spellseeker. I think those are all kind of whatever. I think I just have to get Oppo Agent here.
Okay. A tutor makes sense for why he would be so deep in the tank. He's deciding what to recruiter the guard for. So he has 1 card in hand otherwise. He can get Mockingbird here, and recruiter again. He can get... There's really a lot of stuff. He can get Solitude and Solitude something, which sounds like it's probably what I would do. He can get one of the discard spell creatures. He could get Sin Collector, but I'm largely playing off the top of my deck now. Okay, so he's getting Agent, but he can't put it into play. Sure. Okay. Interesting. I guess now that I think about it, Agent is like very obvious and a bit of a strange one to tank on. Okay, but I have a way to kill it, which is good. So I'm just going to pass here, and I will attempt to kill the Agent as soon as given the opportunity to do so. It's a little tenuous with this Ornithopter of Paradise being my second black source, but it is what it is. He's likely going to wait to put it into play, but I think if we play this game where we stare at each other and he holds up Opposition Agent and I get to just draw cards, I think that's better for me. Actually, like, I think that because I mulligan to 5, like, yeah, okay, so getting rid of the pending, that's interesting. That suggests to me that he feels like he needs to find a way to actually pressure me, which is right, I think. Like, if we're going to play this game of we stare at each other, you have Opposition Agent and Jwari Disruption. Well, it doesn't counter the Agent currently, and I have talked about needing a 6th mana, so I do think I will play it as a land, just because that'll now unlock a 6th mana if I have one of those plays come up. Okay, so he's going to play it here. I will let it resolve, and then I will try to kill it right away. If he has a flicker, he has a flicker. But, yeah. Okay, great.
Like, because at some point I'll be able to kill this Black Bloom Rogue, and then I can start attacking with all my creatures. Unless Liam, like, draws another creature spell. This is a big draw step for the game, though. Like, if Liam draws some sort of tutor or some way to deal with Opposition Agent, that's a pretty big deal. Excuse me. Let's play the sewers here. So is Prismatic Ending good enough? It doesn't get rid of Charbelcher, but it does get rid of one of these blockers. I don't think so. I think since I have the Fel the Profane, I think I'm going to get rid of Prismatic Ending. I think I want... Like, my dream draw here is I play Opposition Agent, and then I draw Force of Will. And I think I want to play to my dream draw here. I don't think I really need the Prismatic Ending. It, like, just doesn't interact with Liam in ways that I care about, I don't think. If I could cast the Prismatic Ending for 4, I would have kept it. To reduce Liam's outs. Because then he wouldn't be able to play Charbelcher unless he had 7 mana. And I'd be able to cut him off of mana if I wanted to. Okay, Liam did draw a removal spell for the Opposition Agent. Interesting. Okay, he has his own Fel the Profane. Excuse me. Okay, well, I think we're just gonna kill this Black Boom Rogue. I think I'm not getting in with the Gastal Raider because of my speed. Uh, I'm pretty close to getting to a speed where I can just start attacking. Although there is consideration to attacking and trading with the Llanowar Elves, because then I don't die to the sorcery spell that's in Liam's deck. I wonder if he'll trade here. I'm actually really curious. So, do I want him to trade? Let's say he trades, then I attack him for 2 to... I think that's insignificant enough. It's so hard though, because I get to cut him off of like draw stuff of potentially being able to win. But then his Ornithopter is just blocking my 2 creatures for forever. So I'm only hitting him for 1 for the rest of the game, which I think is not good enough. Like if I hit him for 2 here, he goes to 9. Then the next turn I hit him, I have a 3/2, which shortens the clock by quite a lot. I think I'm gonna attack like this. It's really close though. I think you could consider attacking with the Gastel Raider as well, and seeing if Liam's happy to trade.
So, agent down. I have 6 mana in play. Oh, it's just like Quantum Riddler? That would actually be such a beating. Oh, he has Feld of his own. Okay. But the damage done, I will say, by the Black Bloom Rogue. Feeling very vindicated for my play of playing it as a creature. So lots of hits off the top of my deck. Obviously lots of misses too, but a decent number of things that are potentially game winning. Having 6 mana here is also kind of nice. It means that if I draw Bring to Light and I can't use the Ornithopter for colored mana, like for a white or a red to make it for 4, I can actually still win, which is nice. Oh, that's interesting. Just choosing not to attack with the Gastal Raider on the theory that if I trade the Llanowar Elves for it now, it won't be able to become a 3/2 menace attacker. I think I like that line of thinking by Trent, actually. I'm not trading off the Llanowar Elves. The 6 mana matters enough for me that it's not worth it for me to do. But I think that's good process on his part. Yep. No blocks for me, as annoying as it is to let him hit max speed. I can't afford to throw this mana away. All right, well, let's see if this is good enough. If he has another counterspell, he has another counterspell, but I kind of think that this might have done it. Bring to Light for 4. I will go get the old Balustrade Spy. I will cast it, and if I get Consigned to Memory, I will scream. Although I think if he had Consigned, he would have been playing faster. Maybe not though. Target me. Woo! I did it. Very cool. Very cool. That's awesome, honestly.
Excuse me. I don't know why I'm keeping this land in hand. I think there's just is there maybe value in oh, did he draw the 5 mana spell? Oh, he drew Bring to Light. Yeah, that's it. Wow. Crazy game. I think my deck is pretty reasonable against combo, but I actually think it's hard pressed to fight against this deck, mostly because its draws are so live. Like, a lot of the time against combo, you can yeah, I'll just give him the concession here.
Hello.
Crazy games.
Yeah, they were sick. They were very cool. I honestly, so I've been playing a little bit of this spy deck, and when I saw, well, we obviously talked about what we were going to play in the tournament, and when you were like, I'm going to play Esper Blink, in my head I was like, wow, I'm registering spy. I really hope I'm not in Trent's group, and then I was. And like, I think that game 2 is probably closer to what the average game of this matchup looks like. But I'll be honest, I thought this matchup was like maybe 8-2, and I think in reality it's more like maybe 65-35, 6-4. Like I'm very impressed with how resilient and how much play this spy deck actually has.
Yeah, I
I don't
think
know.
like the big thing is that they're like my the Blink deck is designed to beat every other combo deck, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
designed to have game against every other combo deck at least, right? But like there are
Yep.
things that keep you from like being fully good against combo, right? The concessions that you make to having like a better late game plan, right? Or like a really good inevitability plan. Like if we
Yep.
look at those games, the amount of pressure that I had is just like so negligible in
Yep.
basically each of them.
Yep.
And um like because I have no pressure, I'm actually like when I play Recruiter of the Guard, I'm really hard pressed to get anything but opposition agent. Like I really wanted to get Soul Herder to start the Soul Herder train.
Yep.
But if I do that, it gives you two whole live draw steps to draw tutors, right? And
Yeah.
because I have no pressure on you, like it's gonna take me a while to get to that stage where I like am able to lock up the game. So I felt like I had to get opposition agent. And I mean, like, if you don't have the removal spell for Oppo Agent, then like I think it's a
The game
good
is
call.
very, very different.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
like, you are going to have that removal spell some percentage of the time, and I still don't have pressure. Also, you know what I'm impressed by in the spy deck is just playing those stupid creatures like for the front
I.
side instead of the
Yeah. Yeah.
lands.
Yeah.
Like that 2/3
Just
was actually like super relevant because I
I
didn't
know,
just get to like
deceptively,
attack you.
deceptively good. You and I were playing like forgotten uncommons from draft formats of yore, uh,
So
and they were
true.
staring at each other. Yeah, it's interesting. So I drew it, and I basically instantly played it as a creature, and then I was thinking, actually, the sixth mana matters a lot. Like there's three wins that you need 6 mana to have, and then there's some tutor chains that want you to have 6 mana as well. But I think, and I tend to play like this a lot. Like I'm not a thinker. I think I'm better when I just kind of like do what my first instinct is. I'm not a thinker is maybe not the best way to put it, but I definitely am more of a cerebral player. Yeah.
Intuitive, yeah.
And the more I thought about it, I was like, well, no, like I think this 2/3 just reads like draw 3 cards. Like I think it's like basically Ancestral Recall because you don't get to attack me with this 2/1 that would have otherwise put me like under much, much higher amounts of pressure. Um, I
Yeah,
did
and
just
like the
pull them out.
interesting.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say the reason I didn't attack with my 2/1 is I actually considered your 6 mana wins, but I felt like I needed the clock that comes from the 2/1 growing into a 3/2.
Yep. Yep.
Because I didn't know if you'd block if I attack with a 2/1. I think you're probably supposed to block because I don't think you can just take 4 every turn or 3. But like that is relevant. Like if I attack you and you have to block with your elf, cutting you off of a 6 mana win is a big deal.
Yep.
Like it matters a lot. So
Totally. I was not going to block that turn. I probably would have blocked the next turn. I think is what I would have settled on. I just pulled them out because I was curious. So in that spot, you exiled the birthing pod, and I think there was maybe one other thing missing. Transit mage. I think you took the transit mage out of my hand or something with a discard spell. Or no. Anyway, there are
lively
24.
dirge. I
Yes,
took lively
you took
dirge.
lively dirge. That's right. There are
Yeah.
24 wins in the deck from that spot.
Really?
Not all of them win the turn they come into play. Like some of them are top of
But
the
24
deck,
cards lead to
but
wins.
24 cards are like either wins right away or put a win on the stack the next turn when we're both kind of top decking, which is like pretty impressive. Like that's I hadn't actually counted the number before, and yeah, like it's like pretty crazy, honestly, that it's that many.
Yeah, it is really impressive, and I think like the interesting thing to see about the spy deck will be is there a way that like we can work on the deck where it is better against generic like graveyard hate
Mm-hmm.
beyond just like having the removal spell,
Yep.
because like even with Oppo Agent you can beat Oppo Agent, right? Like it's harder, like it's obviously a good card against you, but it's something that you can win against, right? Like you can just natural draw spy or whatever.
Yeah.
But like graveyard hate is really like the bottleneck that this deck has. But if you think people aren't packing, I think this deck has like tons of play to it in terms of like what you just saw there. Liam Mulligan to 5. He cast an elf, an ornithopter, and a 3 mana 2/3 in that game, where I duressed him on turn 1, and I got opposition agent, and he still won the game, right?
Yeah.
Like you were still able to like kill the oppo, draw to an out, play to that out, etc. And like it was just really like fascinating to be playing against, because it made me feel like, oh, I really need to, like, if I'm gonna play Blink again and I want to be better against combo, I need to consider like, can I add creatures that both are synergistic with the Blink effects, but also are just a little more aggressive, like that have the ability to close out games? Because like I gave you so much time in
Yeah.
all 3 of those games, and in the second game, uh, the time didn't work out in your favor. You just didn't draw the right cards, right? But in the first and third game, like it felt like I was behind right from the beginning. As soon as I kept my hand that had like basically no aggression, it's weird. Like you'd think that in a game where I duressed and I played a gas style raider that I'd be like really far ahead. But the truth is, like, um when you don't put your combo opponents under pressure, you're effectively giving them extra material to work with, because they have extra draw steps to like potentially win through whatever it is you're playing. And that's why like Boros and Black White Death and Taxes are so good against combo decks, because you're both pressuring them, and you're pressuring their life total and their resources, right? Whereas like this deck that I'm playing is just pressuring your resources and not really pressuring your life total. And we saw that sort of workout in those 2 games, right? So
It's
really,
why
really
I've sort of been
fascinating.
of the theory that I don't think that blue black is fine against combo. I don't think it's bad against combo. But I think people kind of herald these like blue black tempo decks as like, oh, you want to be the combo slayer, play blue black tempo. And I'm like, I mean, I think if you want to have a 55-45 matchup against some of the combo decks, play blue black. But I don't think that you're gonna, leave combo players like, in your wake as you slay them. Like that's not really
Yeah,
how it's
it's
worked
not
out
it's
in
not
my
really that
experience.
simple. Like
Yeah.
you definitely need clocks against
I think you need
against
clocks, and
combo.
I think you need permanence. You need to find ways to flip the script so that the combo player is forced to answer a question at some point in the game. Because if they're always saying, "Do you have it?" eventually you won't. And these combo decks, as time has gone on, like they've just gotten so many more potential pieces and potential wins, and they keep getting little pieces here and there that increase the consistency, that make it so that they don't have to play quite as many questionable cards or like weird ones just because they happen to work with a particular combo engine. It's like, I don't know, man. I think you really need to be finding ways to to actually force them to interact with a permanent on the board, and like they'll do it some amount of the time. Like that's gonna happen, but yeah. Well,
Yeah, so
I hope you win the 1 and 3 to get into top 4, and that we get to run back this matchup in the finals. That would be sweet.
that would be sweet. I hope that everyone enjoyed watching. It was a slog. These games were really tight. Like
Yeah,
there was a lot going on. Also, I've been really excited to play this Esper Blink deck. I feel like it's very rough in its initial idea, but like I think there's some things that I would love to change. Like I think if I could have it now, I would have definitely not registered Reanimate. I think I would have registered Psychic Frog. Like you'd think the Reanimate would be good because like the dream of like Grief reanimating them or whatever, but I think more often than not, I just would have liked to have an extra threat that actually can like pressure the opponent.
yeah,
But I'm not sure. Maybe that's not even correct. Maybe it's supposed to be like double mocks with Frog and Reanimate, etc. But I like testing decks in like actual tournament settings,
yeah,
and I'm sure you feel the same way about the Spy deck, like where you're starting to realize like, okay, like these cards are more important than others. Like maybe there's some stuff that I could cut. You and I were talking recently about like maybe you play Summoner's Pact so that you have an extra copy of Elvish Spirit Guide in your deck
yep,
potentially.
yep,
So there's a bunch of like places to like really like tinker. And I think to tinker with decks effectively, you really want to be in settings where both people care about winning, because that's when like the true colors of decks actually show, right? So
yeah,
yeah, hopefully we play
absolutely.
in the finals,
I do.
or hopefully I
I
get
hope so.
there.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for the game.